video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and a special warm welcome if you're brand new here. My name is KiwiSimsKate. Kiwi because I'm from New Zealand, Sims because I love the Sims, and Kate because that's my name. Thanks for joining me. I am so very excited to bring you a build with the new EP that came out last week. This expansion pack was called Enchanted by Nature, and it's basically about fairies and magical things, and it's absolutely beautiful. The items in this pack are magical. I can't wait to show you this build and to talk all about it. But before I go into the details, I just want to remind you that my EA creator code, KiwiSimsKate, can be used in the promo box at checkout when you're purchasing any content through the EA app or thesims.com. That supports my channel and it's at no additional cost to you. Of course, completely voluntary. Thank you so much if you do use my code. So this build today is a fairy house, I guess. I mean, it could be anyone's house, but I really wanted to play around with fun, whimsical, magical colors, items, shapes and layouts, kind of branching out from my usual comfort zone of building. And honestly, it was not difficult because I think the items that we got in this pack are just perfect for those kinds of builds. Perfect for whimsy, for magic, for just adorable fairy and other occult type builds. This really got me motivated to play around with a lot more of the occults, to build for more of the occults. I'm not typically an occult person and like a big fan of playing with occults. I generally tend to do sort of more traditional family gameplay style stuff or just single Sims. But I think I don't know, I wouldn't say I've necessarily turned into an occult player, but this has definitely motivated me to try more of that gameplay out. So on this build, I wanted to make it for a single sim, a single fairy, and I also built it on this lot so that you could expand it. It is a 1-bedroom home, but it could quite easily be expanded. There is space. There's actually two full bathrooms in the build, and I didn't necessarily plan that going into it. I was working off a Pinterest image for the vibe of the exterior and for a little bit of the floor plan, but honestly, I then took a pretty sharp turn away from my inspiration and just started playing around because it was just so much fun using these items. And then also, of course, if any of you have tried to build the Sims builds from a real inspiration photo or a real build, it can be challenging to get it accurate. So sometimes you've got to cut a little shortcuts, cut a few corners, and make some adjustments for it to work. So once I got the exterior vibe done, I kind of went on my own path to furnish the interior and to finish the exterior as well. A lot of the time when I'm taking inspiration from Pinterest, I don't have an image of the back, for example, of the build. So all of that is just straight from the top of my dome. The new items, again, I can't say enough, are so adorable. These windows that I'm just playing around with are so unique. Really excited that although we already have a few occult builds and packs out there, this pack still brought a lot of new content that we don't have. So I love these windows that are sort of oddly shaped. They're not perfectly a traditional window shape. They very much look like they're from a fantasy world, the forest, and some kind of magical creature lives here. So I was very excited to be able to use these windows. Of course, I basically tried to use a lot of the new content in this build. It's not exclusively base game and Enchanted by Nature, but it is... there's a lot of Enchanted by Nature in here, and I used a lot of items as a kind of priority, and then filled in the gaps with other items from other packs. So if you want to download this build, it is up on my gallery, KiwiSimsKate. It's got no CC, but as I said, it does have items from other packs. You could probably just fill in the blanks with base game or other pack items if you download it and some items don't appear. As I said, the majority of stuff in here, I did try and use Enchanted by Nature. So if you've got the base game in that pack, or if you're considering buying that pack, this build should be mostly good to go. I'm now moving into the floor plan. As you see on the outside, I've used 2 of the new exterior wallpapers. So the new, not brick, stone, the new stone, gorgeous. I love it so much. And then this new kind of scalloped, scaly type wood, I don't know what you call it, wood paneling, or it's not really paneling, is that because of the shape? But I love them both. We got, I think, 4 new wallpapers possibly. And then recently we got a base game update with these glass wall things that kind of look like full windows, floor to ceiling type thing, but they use like a wallpaper. So if you just have the base game, check those out in a recent update that we got. They're very cool. The one I've used here on this little bump out, which is going to be where I place the dining table, that one is from the new pack from Enchanted by Nature. But in base game we got I think all the matching glass style to the glass roofs that we already had, which is pretty cool. So it means that you can make really cohesive glass houses and things like that. I'm excited to play around with sort of building a lot of modern builds using that. I think that it's perfect for that kind of thing. On the back, I struggled with the back because, as I said, I didn't have an image to work from. I was just purely working from my brain. So I've got a little balcony out here that runs straight out of the bedroom. And then I was having a little bit of trouble around exactly how I wanted it to look. I think I end up... do I end up putting a little roof on the balcony, or no, I don't think I do. But underneath the balcony, there's also a little porch from the back of the ground floor as well. And then I wanted to, again, of course, I realized there's new spandrels, so I added the new spandrels. A lot of the stuff that you're seeing now is new. So not only the grass roof, there's also this really cool kind of wavy wooden tile. I am obsessed with that. It's so perfect for this. I feel like the normal shingle roofs just wouldn't quite cut it with this kind of style of build. So I'm really happy that we got a wood shingle that is a little whimsical. I can't help but keep using that word. I just think it's so perfect. Also, forgive me, I've not recorded a voiceover in some time now. I've been very busy, as you may have noticed if you're a regular viewer of the channel. I still have been streaming over on my Twitch channel, but I did take a little bit of a break because my husband and I actually recently bought our first home, and that's been a lot. It's been a lot of organization. It's been a lot of moving and setting up the new home. We've got 3 little kitties as well, so just ensuring they are nice and settled into the place. Work as well. If you didn't already know, I work a full-time job, and that's been pretty busy. And families, I mean, just there's been a lot of things on. So as you may know, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, I do this because I absolutely love making this content and putting it out there, and Sims is by far my favorite video game of all time. But it's not a full-time thing for me, so I just try and get videos and content out there as and when I can, and try and balance it around my life. So now, after that little brief interlude, so you're all caught up on what's going on in my life, whether you ask for it or not, when I start to finish the inside, and I forgot to say, actually, I built this predominantly in stream over on my Twitch channel. So if you haven't caught us over there, it's a fun time. Come and follow twitch.tv/KiwiSimsKate, and we do a bit of building, we do a bit of gameplay, we do a bit of CAS, a little everything, to be honest. We just see where the wind takes us. But as I was trying to finish the downstairs kind of living, kitchen, dining area, I panicked a little bit. I thought to myself, have I kind of boxed myself in here a little? I wasn't sure it was going to work. I was a little... I loved the exterior. I didn't want to change the exterior. So I was just determined to make the downstairs work. And in the end, it does, I think, come together. The layout is a little odd. It wouldn't be my kind of normal layout. If I was starting from a house layout and then adjusting the exterior around that, I would probably have done something different. But I think that because this is a build for a fairy, it totally works. So I'm going with it. Maybe you might think otherwise. Maybe you think it doesn't work, but I ended up really liking it, and I thought the quirkiness of the shape and kind of where some objects were placed fit the vibe, and luckily was not all that weird once you consider who would normally be living here, and what maybe kind of gameplay someone would use if they downloaded this build. Upstairs, I don't know why I went. I think I moved upstairs to do the bedroom first because of the struggle of downstairs, because I sort of looked at it once I did the floor plan, and then I thought to myself, oh, how am I going to do this? Let's just go upstairs, do the bedroom, and I'll think about what I might do downstairs. So I took a little break from downstairs, and I went up to the bedroom, mostly because I wanted to see that incredible 4-poster bed that we got with the new pack. It is stunning. Most of the items, if not all, in the bedroom are from Enchanted by Nature. The 4-poster bed, the cute little toadstool bedside table things that are attached to the wall, the rug, which I thought worked so well up there, that new wallpaper that's like a mural wallpaper type thing, the new dresser, the new armchair, the new little decoration stand, like 3-tier side table, some plants, the new mirror. Yeah, I think everything from the bedroom might be new other than the flooring. I can't remember what flooring I used actually, but I went for a wood plank flooring that looked a bit more rustic, a little bit worn. I thought that fit the vibe as well here. And then finally, I get the courage to head back downstairs and furnish the kitchen area here. I realized it was just going to be too cramped, and it was not going to work. And I like I love a small build. I love a tiny build. I love clutter. I love looking at those kinds of builds. But when it comes to gameplay, if I actually want to play in a build, I prefer to have a bit more space and a little less clutter. So it's all well and good to like look at beautiful pictures on Instagram of these heavily cluttered builds, but for me, I try and upload builds to the gallery that you can actually play comfortably in. And then if you want to clutter them up, go for it, go for gold. But that's why I ended up extending the kitchen out a bit further, swapping out the back door, which I was going to use that gorgeous double door, but I figure I use it upstairs outside of the bedroom anyway. So I switched to the other single door that I didn't get to use yet in the build, which was kind of handy. So the one with the window in the top, and then expanded the kitchen, I think another tile, so that we got a proper full kitchen in here. Then when I get to finishing the living room, again, it's pretty tight, it's pretty cozy, not as big as I would, I guess, normally have wanted it to be, but by this stage, I'd gone too far. I'd gone too far to go back. So I decided, look, this fairy is probably not really into watching TV or anything, so they're probably more into curling up on the sofa or the armchair with a good book in front of the fireplace. So that's what I went for with the living room. I decided I didn't want TV or any kind of big electronics to be the center of the living room, which I would probably normally build if I were doing like a family home or something like that. So in this case, I wanted the fireplace and the sofa to be sort of those standout pieces of the living room. And oh my God, isn't this rug just incredible? The swatches on that rug, oh, so good. I realized as well I've not sort of talked about every feature I've used here because there's so much good content. In the bathroom, which I've moved to now, you can see I attempted to use those new splashback tiles, which I didn't think worked particularly well in this bathroom, but you would have seen me use them in the kitchen, and I love that sort of mustardy swatch with the moth icon. Oh, stunning, to die for. And then in terms of wallpaper through the interior, I used some from the new EP. So there's that that deep green that's behind the splashback in the kitchen. But then I found some great ones from other occult packs. So we've got some wallpaper from, I think, Realm of Magic, and the other one was, oh gosh, it's escaped me. Remind me in the comments. I can't remember it. I think it was a stuff pack, paranormal stuff pack. Yes, they both had really beautiful wallpaper swatches. So I dived back into those, and then even decor to the max, surprisingly. The beautiful rose flower busy wallpaper sometimes can be really difficult to use at a build, but it just worked in here. The deep kind of the darker swatch of that. I thought that worked really well in the living room. So I was excited to use that in here as well. A lot of color, a lot of different textures, a lot of darker swatches as well in this build, but really kind of rich dark colors. Oh, it's just, yeah, I had a great time building this, and I honestly can't wait to dive back into another Enchanted by Nature build. So if there's something in particular you want to see from this pack in terms of build, let me know, because I'm not too sure what else to build. I mean, I'll probably flick through Pinterest again, but if there's anything, or if there's like a particular Enchanted by Nature sim you want me to build for, or family, let me know. This is a 1-bedroom home, so I don't know, maybe you want to see a bigger home from me. drop it down in the comments, and I will definitely take a look and use you all for inspiration. Thank you in advance. Sometimes I just get a little stuck in what I'm normally used to, you know. Then I say that I didn't really clutter this build up. I still added plenty of decoration here and there. It's just not heavily cluttered. I wanted this place to still feel lived in, and this kind of a home would probably be quite cluttered with lots of different items. This new apothecary table I've placed in this weird hallway nook, but I think it kind of works there. And then there's also the apothecary shelves in the other hallway. There's like kind of two hallways next to each other, but I like the way that they separate the house. And I think that when I was trying to do an open plan in here, it just didn't feel right in this kind of a build. I just felt like it needed to have these separate areas and these little different secret nooks and corners and cozy spaces. Open plan doesn't really tend to give me a cozy vibe per se, at least not usually. So I go back and I fill up those spaces that I was working on before with a bunch of additional decoration. And then I flick back to the bathroom that I started before that I never finished. This is like classic KiwiSimsKate building style. Gets completely distracted and goes on a tangent and then finally loops back to what she was working on. And I just added, again, a lot of the Enchanted by Nature items in that bathroom. Made use of the cute tree stump toilet, the new shower, which is pretty cool. I think it's going to be difficult to use in anything else other than an occult pack, obviously. But the sink, that standing sink, is gorgeous. And then also in that bathroom, I added a bit more of the like plants that grow up the wall. I thought that was appropriate for a bathroom. In this corner, I wanted to add this journal for the sim that lives here. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have space for an office. And then I remembered there's this little corner just at the bottom of the stairs that I was originally kind of annoyed about because I liked the shape of the exterior, so I didn't want to change the shape of the house. But that little gap was really bothering me. And then I thought, let's just get a single tile desk, a few decorations, and then I can place that journal down for your Sims. So that went there at the bottom of the stairs. And then upstairs, as I said, we've got another full bathroom. Honestly, this was mostly out of necessity to fill the space. So what you could turn this into actually could be a cute nursery. It might be a bit of a tight squeeze, either that or no, I'm not sure, but you could definitely make some adjustments if you wanted. But look, an additional bathroom is no bad thing, to be honest, in The Sims, because then you avoid all that annoying embarrassment that the Sims get and blah blah blah. Especially if I imagine this house was for a single fairy sim, but if you wanted to have two fairies in here, or two Sims in here rather, you easily could, because there's double bed, so both sides of the bed are accessible, and having two bathrooms actually in that case would be fine. I wanted to use a different type of shower up here as well, so I've just separated the shower in its little corner by using a glass door. It does make the space look a little more modern, so maybe that's like the one renovation they've done to the house or something. Maybe the old shower started leaking and they had to put a new one in. There you go. There's that storyline covered. In this gap here, again, I used some of the other occult items. This, I don't know what you call this, like display cabinet, I guess. It's kind of like a desk slash display cabinet. I think it came with the paranormal stuff pack, but I've probably got people screaming at the screen saying, no, Kate, it came with Realm of Magic, or insert other pack here. That just shows you how well I know the occult items. I know it came with an occult pack. I can't tell you which one exactly. I want to say the paranormal stuff pack, because I think it came with the same one that we got, like the seance table with, and those items. And they had a lot of those different color swatches. You might also have noticed that I just forgot to remove those items on top of it when I was trying to place one inside. Don't worry, I do go back afterwards, and the version that is up on the gallery doesn't have those. I did spot those later and get rid of them. Outside, I wanted to put a little kind of closed in section to the garden, and then just like fill the lot with some of the really cool garden items we got in this pack. So the mushrooms, the other odd looking plants, kind of magical looking plants. This stone wool is a live edit item, so you will need to go into live edit to access that one. I just prefer using the live edit fences and walls and things. I just like their textures better, and also it's a great little trick if you are building a starter home, or if you're wanting to save money on a build. They cost nothing, which is awesome. Same with the debug and live edit plants. They cost nothing, and they're some of my favorites in the game. So yeah, good little tip if you don't already know it. In the garden, I was about to say I kept it pretty simple. I cluttered it up with plants a lot. In terms of activities and things, I didn't add a lot of stuff. I added basically just a few places to sit in the garden. But I think this could be a fun build to add things like the telescope. I'm not sure, because I haven't really done much gameplay yet in the new pack, what activities, like activity items we got for outdoors. I know we got stuff to do with like a fairy house type thing, and other little bits that you can place outdoors that I think like they maybe encourage magical creatures to visit, or I'm not sure, as you can probably tell. So I didn't want to place anything I didn't really know what it was going to do. But I found lots of great debug and live edit plants. So I just made the garden look really colourful and fun, and full of fun little odd flowers. These little sort of puffy flowers that we got are so gorgeous. This little green sort of tall shrub with like a reddish purple on the inside of its leaves. I'm going to be using that so much. Of course, I put tons of toadstools everywhere and mushrooms. I love the debug and live edit objects in this pack. I think there are some, obviously, like the giant toadstools that will probably be mostly used in these kinds of magical builds, but there's a lot of the little flowers and shrubs and things that could be used in lots of different styles of building. So I'm excited to try all of those out as well. It's not too far until the screenshots, I believe. I just sort of wrap up the last bit of the garden and the landscaping, and then there'll be screenshots. If you enjoyed this build, please do give the video a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, you can hit that subscribe button to get more content from my channel. I stream over on Twitch twice a week, twitch.tv/KiwiSimsKate. We'd love to have you join us there. I'm also across a bunch of other socials, so you can find me at KiwiSimsKate on Instagram, TikTok, what used to be called Twitter, Blue Sky, a lot of places. Go and check me out, connect over there. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments if you download this build, let me know if you've played with it, and enjoy the screenshots. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care out there.